Welcome back. Joining us in the studio this week, we're honored to have Lieutenant Colonel George Matthews from the county's Veterans Affairs Commission. Lieutenant Colonel, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Kristen and Dave. Great to see you all.
We are so happy to have you here. And first and foremost, we want to thank you for your service. Can you give us a brief index into your military background?
Sure. I am a 22-year Air Force veteran. I started in the Air Force right out of the Air Force ROTC. I had several assignments, include a lot of times in Germany, sometimes in Asia. I also was an aircraft maintenance officer. The Air Force provided me a great opportunity to travel and to learn about the world. And so since that time, I've been involved in supporting veterans by running what's called the Transition Assistance Program, which is designed to help military folks as they transition to this whole new life called being a civilian.
And tell us about the commission here in Anne Arundel County.
Well, first of all, an important stat is there are approximately 50,000 veterans in Anne Arundel County.
Wow.
And that is a wow factor because it's not something that everyone typically tracks, as well as it is not a community of just one size. You have folks who have been here who are veterans of WW2 or Korea, right to folks who got out last year. So the big role of the commission then is to serve as a forum to allow veterans to bring us their issues, and then for us then to carry those issues to government, businesses, and services. And so in doing so, we kind of become an advocate and a voice for those veterans.
Excellent.
So you mentioned transitioning from military service to civilian life, and you also mentioned the diversity of needs, because you got different branches of the armed forces, you got different age groups, you have retired, you have all kinds of different things going on. But if you had to pull out like the top 2 or 3 issues that you think veterans need some help from the community from, what would you say those are?
So first of all, if you say issues, the top thing really is not an issue. The top thing is communication and access to information. I could give you a 10-hour or 20-hour briefing on veterans benefits.
Oh, we don't have time for that.
Correct.
That's another show.
And so those veterans then are not always aware of those benefits. And as a result then, that may affect their quality of life. So for example, there are veterans out there right now who could use some increased job skills that are not even aware of the fact they still have access to a GI Bill. So unless they happen to be somewhere and hear someone say something, they go, oh, that might be me. The other thing is, believe it or not, there are actually veterans who don't even know they're veterans, because in some folks' eyes, veterans are only retirees. And folks will say, I only served 3 years, but you are a veteran, because a veteran says the status is to serve 180 days on active duty consistently, or consecutively, should I say, or continually, that's the right word. You're a veteran. But again, if you don't even know you're a veteran, how do you try to access information about your benefits?
Right.
That's a big challenge.
Yeah.
It's a huge challenge, and sometimes part of that challenge is that they may have needs, but they don't really seek information on that need until it becomes important to them on that given day. So I could have a mass communication program and talk about a benefit today. He's not listening. But by Friday, it's important. Now they're listening. So then the Veteran Affairs Commission is somewhere someone may turn either to a person, a member, or even to the website then to access information on what or how to satisfy that need.
Good plug. That is a good place to go. We worked pretty hard building out that page, and it's not just the details of the commission, but there are links to all kinds of the VA and all kinds of different services in one place, so you don't have to go find it. And it's easy to find that. You just go to aacounty.org, click on departments, boards and commissions, and then you just start typing veterans, and boom, pops up right there. So that's pretty easy.
aacounty.org, boards and commissions, veterans.
departments, boards, and commissions.
Departments.
But you can just type veterans into the search bar too.
That's
and
a lot
it'll
easier.
That'll get you there too. Good point, Kristen. Tell us about, you have a special event coming up next month, an expo. Can you tell us a little bit about that, when it is, and what's going to be
So the
available?
expo is going to be on the 22nd of April, which is now less than a month away in terms of Saturdays.
I can see you thinking, you're like, oh my gosh, we have so much stuff to do before
And what is it designed to do? When you say expo, expo normally implies it's something big. This is big. It's big because we have brought together a diverse series of services that may be important to veterans. I'll give you a simple example. To use your benefits as a veteran, one of the piece of papers that you must present is called a DD-214. That says you got out and you were honorably discharged. Well, there are folks who got out 20 years ago that absolutely have no idea where the piece of paper is. And it becomes overwhelming to decide where to go and get it. Well, at this expo then, there will be a service to tell folks that. One of the other
what do you need? Excuse me. What do you need a DD-14 to do? Because
if I am to access any service based on my status as a veteran, someone will ask for proof. That DD-214 then is that proof. So, for example, I may have 48 months of GI Bill benefits left. When I go to Anne Arundel Community College and says I want to enroll and use this benefit, they're going to say, give me documentation that demonstrates you got an honorable discharge then from the military. That's that piece of paper. And so everything you do, so some states, for example, may give veterans free license. If that's the case, then you got to present that DD-214. And even in the hiring business, particularly the federal government hiring business, there are things called preference points or preference hiring. Well, to prove that preference, you got to first then submit that DD-214. And so you may have someone here today, who's served in the Gulf War, been out for, say, 10 years, has worked in various roles, and now want to be a federal government employee.
And they need that paper.
Correct. He or she wants to leverage the fact I'm a veteran.
Yeah.
Prove it. So that's why that paper is so important.
Got it.
So that's the service that you'll have at the expo, is getting folks back in touch with having that documentation. And then what are some other services?
So some others is that there'll be folks there to talk about disability claim. So unlike many years ago, today, because I work in a job that assists that assists military folks as they get out. A part of that congressional mandate then is to get a briefing about what your benefit is, or what your benefits are, should I say, as a veteran. Well, my colleagues who left 20 years ago didn't have that. So therefore, things like potentially filing a disability claim, they have no idea. They simply were given a DD-14, so okay, see you later. Well, now we have those kind of services. So if I'm one of those veterans then who left 20 years ago, I've kind of heard about disability claim. I'm not really following because it sounds too overwhelming. So at this expo then, you will have someone that says, this is a step here, contact this agency, you will need X, Y, Z, and it kind of puts it in, I guess, a usable form that I can then take some action and pursue that benefit.
Excellent. So final question for you.
Sure.
When and where is the expo? We said April 22nd. What time?
It's going to be 10 o'clock to 4. It'll be at Annapolis High School.
Annapolis High School.
There will be probably maybe 30 plus type services and vendors.
Excellent.
There will be food and coffee, and matter of fact, it has a high level of importance because Secretary Owens of the VA will be there, from the Maryland VA will
Great
be there. County Executive Shu will be there. And
Great guy, too.
we'll great. So we are looking forward to it because again, it is our opportunity to show veterans that we care about them. We have an interest in them, but also I talk about older veterans, but even folks who are now soldiers and airmen and naval people, we want them to come and then to maybe decide that Anne Arundel County is a veteran-friendly county they want to live in, once they leave the military.
Absolutely. And do you need to register online ahead of time or register by phone, or can you show up day of?
You can show up. There is an Eventbrite on our website to register. But in fact, if you show up, we will gladly welcome you and then walk you through all the various services we have.
Excellent.
And Kristen, we are going to promote this
Yes,
expo
yes.
far and wide. So if you're a little confused, there's going to be plenty of opportunities to find out more on Facebook and on YouTube and all that
with
stuff.
50,000 veterans, as you have
Correct.
given us the fact on in Anne Arundel County, chances are you know someone who would really benefit from this expo. So please, Saturday, April 22nd, 10 a.m. is when it starts, Annapolis High School. And Lieutenant Colonel, we appreciate your time today. Such an honor having you on the show. Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure of mine, Kristen.
Please come back again
Appreciate it.
soon.
I
We
will.
loved having you. We will be right back with more Week in Review right after this. Don't go anywhere.